Imagine your phone is a super secret agent, except it's the enemy, and you're the one being spied on. Welcome to the world of Pegasus, the digital spy that doesn't just read your texts, it listens to your conversations, watches your every move, and can even turn your camera on while you're not looking. It's like having an invisible stalker, except it's on your phone, and it's really good at its job. So should you be worried? You should probably check your phone, and no, it's not because you forgot to delete that embarrassing selfie. What is Pegasus Spyware anyway? Imagine someone secretly reading your texts, tracking your every move, and turning on your phone's camera without you knowing. This isn't a dystopian movie, but a reality for many victims of Pegasus spyware. Developed by the Israeli NSO Group, Pegasus targets iOS and Android devices, stealing data and monitoring communications. Unlike typical malware, Pegasus uses a zero-click attack, meaning it can infect a phone without the user doing anything. Once inside, it can access texts, emails, and even live conversations. Governments and intelligence agencies use it to monitor individuals, raising significant concerns about privacy and human rights violations. A brief history of Pegasus, the spy who loved privacy. Pegasus was created by NSO Group, which sells the spyware to governments to fight terrorism. Founded in 2010 by ex-Israeli Defense Forces members, the company's product soon drew attention for its use in political surveillance, especially by authoritarian regimes. The first major discovery of Pegasus came in 2016 when Citizen Lab uncovered its use against a UAE activist. Reports revealed Pegasus targeted journalists, politicians, and opposition leaders in countries like Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and India, highlighting its ability to breach even the most secure devices. Why should you care about Pegasus? At first glance, you might think, I don't have anything to hide. Why should I care about Pegasus? But the truth is, no one is truly safe in a world where surveillance tools like Pegasus exist. While the spyware has been predominantly used by governments and intelligence agencies, its implications for personal privacy are far-reaching. Anyone with a smartphone, be it a journalist, activist, or ordinary citizen, could be at risk of having their communications secretly monitored. As technology continues to evolve, the threats posed by spyware like Pegasus are more real than ever. With the increasing reliance on smartphones for banking, communication, and even storing sensitive personal data, the potential for abuse is staggering. As Pegasus can access encrypted communications, this presents serious risks not just for individuals, but also for businesses and governments. If sensitive data falls into the wrong hands, it could lead to breaches of national security, expose confidential business information, or ruin reputations. Who is behind Pegasus? The shadowy figures. The primary entity behind the creation of Pegasus is an NSO Group, which, despite its claims of being a defender of national security, has been repeatedly accused of enabling authoritarian regimes to carry out unethical surveillance. NSO's primary customers are governments, which use the spyware to monitor individuals deemed a threat to national security. However, the problem is that the definition of threat is often subjective and can encompass political opponents, human rights advocates, journalists, and even everyday citizens. NSO Group has vehemently denied allegations that it is complicit in human rights abuses. It claims that its software is only sold to legitimate government customers and is intended to be used for counterterrorism and crime-fighting purposes. Yet, as revealed by multiple investigations, the spyware has been deployed to track and silence dissidents, journalists, and activists. The company's lack of accountability and transparency has led to growing calls for regulation and a ban on the sale of such surveillance tools. The target. Who's been hit by Pegasus? Since its inception, Pegasus has been used to target a wide range of individuals and organizations. High-profile victims include investigative journalists who uncovered corruption, activists exposing human rights violations, and opposition politicians challenging the status quo. In 2024, new reports suggest that the spyware is still active and being used to target not just individuals but entire networks of people. In Mexico, for example, the spyware was used to target journalists investigating government corruption. In Saudi Arabia, the phone of Jamal Khashoggi, the dissident journalist who was murdered in 2018, was reportedly infected with Pegasus. This revelation came after his death, sparking global outrage and raising questions about the role of surveillance in silencing opposition. The spyware's ability to monitor conversations, track movements, and gather personal data makes it an incredibly potent weapon for those seeking to control the narrative. How does Pegasus infiltrate your phone? One of the most alarming aspects of Pegasus is how it infiltrates devices. Unlike other forms of spyware, which require a user to click on a link or download a file, Pegasus often relies on a zero-click exploit. This means that all the attacker needs to do is send a message to the victim's phone, and the spyware will silently install itself. The message could come through a variety of channels, including SMS, WhatsApp, or even missed call. Once the spyware is in, it has full access to everything on the phone: texts, calls, photos, GPS location, and more. Both iOS and Android devices are vulnerable, but iPhones, with their reputation for security, have been targeted most frequently. While Apple has made strides in patching vulnerabilities, it's clear that no device is completely immune to surveillance when tools like Pegasus are involved. Can Pegasus be detected? Detecting Pegasus on a device is notoriously difficult. Because the spyware is designed to operate covertly, it can be hard to identify, even with advanced security measures. There are some signs that may indicate that a phone has been compromised, such as unusual battery drain, overheating, or unexpected data usage. However, these symptoms can also be caused by other apps or technical issues, making it hard to pinpoint the spyware's presence. To combat this, some cybersecurity firms have developed specialized tools to scan for traces of Pegasus. These tools analyze system logs and network traffic for suspicious activity that could indicate a spy campaign. However, even with these methods, detecting Pegasus remains a complex and ongoing challenge for both individuals and organizations. What happens when you're infected? The consequences of being infected by Pegasus can be devastating. The spyware can intercept messages, track phone calls, and even monitor real-time conversations through the microphone. In some cases, the spyware has been used to gather blackmail material, create false narratives, or destroy reputations. For journalists and human rights activists, the invasion of privacy can lead to harassment, physical danger, or even death. The most significant impact is the erosion of privacy. Once Pegasus has access to your phone, you lose control of your personal data, and anyone can exploit it. The worst part is that by the time you realize you're compromised, the damage is often already done. Is there anything you can do to protect yourself from Pegasus? Safeguarding your smartphone against spyware like Pegasus requires a proactive approach. Start by keeping your device's operating system and apps updated, as software updates often patch security vulnerabilities that could be exploited by spyware. Be cautious when receiving messages from unknown numbers or sources, and avoid clicking on suspicious links. Enable two-factor authentication on your accounts to add an extra layer of protection. For those who believe they may be at high risk of being targeted, using encrypted messaging services such as Signal or Telegram can help protect communication. While these apps can't guarantee 100% protection, they provide a higher level of security than standard SMS or email. Is there hope for privacy? As digital surveillance tools continue to evolve, the future of privacy remains uncertain. Despite global condemnation of Pegasus, the NSO Group spyware is just one example of how powerful entities are using technology to invade the private lives of individuals. Efforts to regulate and ban such tools have gained momentum, but the fight for privacy is ongoing. Governments, tech companies, and cybersecurity experts are working to develop more advanced security systems to protect users from threats like Pegasus. While there is no foolproof way to protect yourself from spyware, increasing awareness of these threats is encouraging. As more people learn about the risks of digital surveillance, the push for stronger privacy protections is likely to grow, giving hope that the future of privacy can be secured in an ever-connected world. That's all for today's video. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on the latest tech news and digital security. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you worried about Pegasus? Stay safe, and see you in the next video.